What's up, YouTube? Roachsaurus here, back with another video, and today we're going to be taking a look at the worst FPS developers are back in gaming. What does that mean for us? Well, let's go ahead and take a look.
Let's go! One FPS game I remember fondly growing up was America's Army. And no, not Proving Grounds, that game was like a completely different game, but the originals where you had to take tests and go through basic training before even being able to play online.
I remember like Desert Storm on like PS2, like far back then. PS1, there was like some sort of helicopter strategy game you had to play. I think it was Command and Conquer, but I'm not sure. Other than that, I can't really recall too far back. GoldenEye, but everybody loves GoldenEye.
Yeah, those games. Days spent crawling your way across bridges, throwing grenades, and just having a blast on a game. And even though it was funded by the US military, as a Canadian, I didn't care at all. Well, there is a team working towards bringing back those experiences with their game, Army Ops, a spiritual successor to America's Army, delivering authentic tactical gameplay, team-based combat, and strategic objectives to the forefront. It's being developed by a new team called Hua Development, but don't let their name fool you.
I feel like we've seen this before. Like, haven't we already been through this sort of thing? 6 Days in Fallujah, Arma 3. There's been games like this already several times.
Veterans of the industry, releasing a myriad of FPS games in the past that were actually covered on this channel. But the problem...
Okay, so he's not saying that it's like a new thing. He's just saying that they're back, basically.
Is most people probably don't understand who the fuck these guys are. This team is none other than the esteemed Polygon Arts, a development team that I have called one of the worst FPS developers in the entire industry, because what they do is they just release the exact same shitty game year in and year out. And I'm not talking about what Activision does with...
This is why I love Big Fry, really.
Call of Duty, which, on a side note, holy shit. I'm talking about Strike Force 3. I'm talking about Strike Force 2. I'm talking about United Assault. All of these games
I don't think I ever played Strike Force.
Games with different names, a different coat of paint, but the same roguelike garbage ass experience where they just give you open levels with terrible AI and you have to complete a random set of objectives that change every time. And if I sound a little bit stuffy and sniffly in this video, it's because I mean,
we see that all the time though, honestly. We see that with a lot of games. Like, that's most games nowadays. That's like the same fucking thing with Call of Duty. Like, they just new coat of paint all on it and then create a new storyline and ship it, and oh, there you go, a new Call of Duty.
Sick and fucking tired of seeing these guys pop up on Steam every 6 months with a new military style shooter that is exactly the same as the fucking last one, which is where their new game, United Assault Final Stand, comes into play. A $15 open world roguelite FPS set in 1945 Germany. Infiltrate the Führer's mountain residence in Oberasburg, exploring the Burghof, Kersenstein, and hidden bunkers.
I love the accent.
Intense combat across a vertical, secret-filled landscape. So the features of this game, it's an open-world gameplay in a faithfully recreated 1945 Oberasburg region. It's an immersive World War II combat experience with authentic weaponry and realistic enemy AI.
With realistic AI, bro. He just headshot this AI and it's just like walking towards him. Doesn't even see him there. Keeps on walking. Bro, there's more realistic AI in Tarkov than this. Fucking does a 90-degree turn once it gets to it. Like it...
So fucking realistic. Now, if you're looking for this game on Steam, it's classified as a DLC for United Assault Normandy 44. It requires the base game.
It's like it doesn't see him and it just keeps walking, and then once it gets around that corner, it just, oh, you're right there, I know it.
Play on the Epic Game Store. It's a standalone experience. These things are so rinse and repeat, churn and burn, that this is the third DLC that is released in Q4 of this year, which is where it gets even more confusing because
who's paying for this
United Assault
garbage.
Battle of the Bulge, a standalone game that released in 2022. And then you have the exact same game listed as a DLC for United Assault Normandy 44 that came out September 4th of this year, both priced at the exact same price. I mean, hell, in this screenshot here, you can see that United Assault World War II, there's a standalone game that came out March 30th, 2023, and then there's the DLC for United Assault Normandy 44 called United Assault World War II DLC.
Damn, they just keep going, don't they?
September 13th of this year. So which is it? Is it a DLC for another game, or is it a standalone?
I don't think they fucking know, honestly. I think they're just fucking copy and pasting and making money.
What the fuck? And as you look around at other games that are listed under the Polygon Arts banner on their Steam page, it gets even more confusing because on the Polygon Arts page for their publisher, they have Taxi Driver The Simulation. It's a game that released in 2022. But when you go to the page, it's apparently being developed by Enigma Entertainment and a company called Delta Bright, and there's no mention of Polygon Arts at all.
I think I've heard of Enigma.
When you click on Delta Bright or Enigma Entertainment, it just loops you right back to the publishing page for Polygon Art. There's also a game on their upcoming list called Spellslinger, which is apparently a first-person magical adventure. It's being developed by Dark Valley Games, who I can't find anything on at all, because when you click on it, it
Dive into Spellslinger, a first-person magical adventure. Master spells, battle foes, and extract treasure in a world where every choice reshapes reality. Join the magic. Was this like a fucking Dark and Darker ripoff?
just loops back to Polygon Art. So I think what we're starting to see here is an expansion of sorts, a bunch of other names being created to kind of cover the tracks of what.
Oh, you mean like a farming? Like they're just fucking like farming fucking developers? Like they create these fake developer accounts and they farm the fuck out of like making shitty $10 games and just copy and pasting shit and just reselling it. We've seen this before, guys. We've seen this before.
These games actually are, but what's
you gotta be careful. You gotta watch out for this shit.
All loops back to Polygon Arts, and I can't find anything on any of these studios.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, when I look
they're
up,
probably because they probably don't exist. It's probably like maybe 3 people max, fucking just ripping off assets from the store, fucking flipping them in the engine and just fucking publishing and copying, pasting, and you know what I mean.
up Dark Valley
That's probably
Games
why.
on Google, I found a listing for an upcoming game called Strike Force Joint Ops being developed by Dark Valley Games, releasing in Q1 of 2025 and being published by Polygon Art. All of these studios, I'm doing air quotations as I say it, all of these people are the same guys who keep putting out slop year in and year out using different names because Steam lets you just type in whatever name you want. This is starting to remind me a lot of Sergei Titov and Hammerpoint Interactive, which was partnered with OP Productions, who also was a publishing outfit for a company named Arctos Entertainment, and they're all the same people. They get different logos, they put different names out there because it's hard to track down who is who when there's so many different names thrown into the spider web. If they put
It's just like with YouTube, like when you see creators making all these different accounts and then they're just creating basically the same shitty content and farming the fuck out of it. I see this on YouTube Kids a lot too.
Even a modicum of effort into the actual development of their games, they probably wouldn't have to hide underneath so many different layers of studios and companies, but instead they would much rather just keep continually putting out slop year in and year out. And I really don't know who's buying these games outside of me. Like, I jumped into this final stand release. I bought it on the Epic Game Store, and to my surprise, I had a little bit of fun. I'm just fucking with you. It's the exact same game I've been covering for the last 6 years. The recommended specs for the game that you're seeing on screen, if you can fucking guess, a 14900K Core i9, 12 gigs of RAM, and an NVIDIA 3080 for a game that looks like it was released in 2002. Constant frame drops, random flashing
But
of
hey,
light.
you guys need some pretty high specs for this. It's top of the line, guys. This is groundbreaking, revolutionary gameplay we got here.
lights, if there's any lights in the map at all, a day-night cycle that lasts 35 seconds, give or take, and a gameplay loop that leaves almost everything to be desired. You boot up the game and you have to set up your inventory. You can basically start with a pistol only, and then you run through these missions, complete objectives, and then extract so that you can rank up your character to unlock more weapons to do it all over again. It's the same map, it's just a random set of objectives, and that's it. If you've played Strike Force, if you've played Beyond Enemy Lines, if you've played United Assault, Normandy 44, or World War II, or whatever, Battle of the Bulge, if you've played one, you have played them all. And while I've been digging around trying to figure out who the fuck all of these different companies are, I was looking at Polygon Art socials, and I saw this. Commanders, a covert mission is approaching. Details are classified, but a select few will soon have access to a high priority operation on PC.
Few. They make it sound like this is a fucking like prize game to play, or that it's like a fucking privilege to play something like this garbage that they're just fucking regurgitating.
That has remained in the shadows until now. Only the most vigilant will be granted entry for a limited time. And what they're alluding to is them releasing Task Force Delta, Afghanistan. As a member of Task Force Delta, Army's elite special forces unit, you'll strive for vengeance for terrorist attacks against the United States.
Fucking end.
And buying the game on itch.io is the only way to get access to the game. So not only do we have Army Ops, we have a new Strike Force Joint Operations, we have Task Force Delta, we have Park Ranger Simulator, there's Spell Slinger, they also have a new Delivery Driver Simulation game coming soon, they also have a new Beyond Enemy Lines set in Vietnam that will be announced, most likely to be released in 2025. What is that, 6 fucking games on the go? And that's what we know. Who knows how much slop they got in the back end, in the shadows, that we don't know about yet. This is fucking insane. And then throwing this on itch.io, doing a social media like, oh, it's the only way you can get access to it. Would you believe me if I told you I bought it? But we're gonna save that for another video. My name is Big Fry. Subscribe now.
No, I mean, I don't blame you, man. Yeah, get that content out. That's fucking hilarious.
All the FPS content, the good, the bad, the absolute downright disgusting. Like the video and leave a comment with your thoughts down below. And ladies and gentlemen, I am so proud to showcase United Assault Final Stand DLC from Polygon Arts.
I'm going to go ahead and stop the video there, but if you guys want to check out the gameplay for this, go ahead down in the link in the description and click the video. It is there, and head over to Big Fry, give him a sub, check this content out.
Hey guys, if you like the video, make sure you head over to the page, hit that like button, scroll over, smash that subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get notified for future video drops, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.